mean, and this is now, it's not like they have a Tempest or a Keeper, but Kraken, good synergy for kind of pulling people in and setting up Draconis possibly. But yeah, this isn't the scariest Draconis team at the same time, so I wouldn't think they're going to ban it here, but clearly Haxor making a point that he's playing it lately. Wonder if that just might come into play as a result.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a ban here. Obviously, they've got the carry to be picked up for BMG. They've got their mid initiator, they've got their support, they've got their jungler, they've got maybe a suicidal mid, and then obviously carried left. And I mean, yeah. Draconis is a fine ban here, particularly if like Haxor feels comfortable with it. So
yeah,
why not?
We'll see how that plays out. So of course, got to get to the bans here, and actually quite a bit of time being thought out here as far as the bans are concerned. You got Drent's over here, and Drent's one of these guys, we were stressing it yesterday, you more so are bringing it up, that this guy, deserves some attention. He's been making some very strong drafts lately, and we saw that in the Dawn series yesterday, and the Nullstone Gaming has been a team that's definitely kind of been just kind of one of those under-the-radar, almost like a Reason Gaming-esque team that they've had solid results. They've always kind of been a team to reckon with, and here they are yet again, so... Pebbles and Soulstealer, their next couple of bans. And Nymphora coming out from BMG even, though. How about that? That's not your usual support nowadays, but...
Yeah, I mean, was it... Oh, yeah, Ogre run the Dr. Repulse and Nymphora, didn't they? So
yeah, they had the Nymphora that game, yeah.
It's pretty cancer, that kind of combo. Obviously gives man to Dr. Repulse and then send him wherever he needs to go at level 6. Can have global presence and very, very strong combo, but and why not? Obviously, all the other junglers are banned, and so if you have to pick up a secondary support, it has to be someone that has a large impact on the game, and Nymphora is definitely one of those secondary supporters. So I do actually like that ban coming from Tankafet. Good call.
Kinesis, the final ban from Tankafet over there. Yeah, interesting stuff to finish things off. So not your everyday ban, but a couple of players out there. Maybe I would think in this case perhaps Fuzzy Sloth. He's their suicide guy. And,
I mean, Keeper's still on the board, though.
Keeper is still there, yeah. That could be something to think about. They go Drunken Master for now. And that probably means they're not... I guess they still could go Keeper Jungle, definitely. So.
Yeah, you just Suicide Drunken, and then it looks like it's going to be a fine pick, because obviously you got Doctor short lane and then Magnus Rhapsody mid, so...
It's what you got, though, man. They're going to... He's got to go like Legionnaire here.
Has to do something different now.
Yeah, no choice now. Can't go the Keeper. And yeah, that's I don't know about. I mean, I guess we were talking about it like Nullstone that they could have banned Keeper themselves to prevent this from happening, but
Legionnaire would be such a sick pick here. Sorry to cut you off, but
so?
because the reason being is because BMG, look at their lineup. They've got a lot of control, not a lot of damage. They've got obviously the Kraken ultimate. Ophelia doesn't add a lot of damage. Then you've got the Empath there to sort of bolster up the carry, and then obviously the Keeper Forest doesn't do a lot of damage either. If they have a Legionnaire, he's one of the strongest of anti-carries because he can completely take him out of the game for 3 seconds. But we see a lot of South Forest.
All right,
instead, which isn't too bad because obviously we saw him jungle it before and it worked quite well. But I really think Legionnaire would, if there was one game for pick up Legionnaire, it would have been this one. And because they couldn't have really abused it either because there's not a lot of aggression coming out from BMG. Like everything sort of screamed Legionnaire here.
Are you seriously disappointed that we saw Lord South Forest?
No, I'm just saying. No. Lord South Forest can work as Lord South Forest is kind of like a semi-anti-carry as well because if Draconis is picked up here, if he does go the Similar Rage, which we saw last time, it can obviously stop any kind of Similar Rage proc, so it can still work. I just think Legionnaire would be a little bit better. But yeah.
Dargon is real. The Dargon is real. BMG making a point, Haxor specifically, that again he's here to stay, and they're going to do it yet again. But yeah, just to reiterate the Lord South Forest pickup. So for those that may not have caught yesterday, in the Dawn series, I knew I was missing something when I mentioned the game one how they ran the Oogie. That's right, they also ran the Lord South Forest that game in the jungle, sure enough, and they're definitely going to be looking to do that here once again. He has potential. I mean, his skill set definitely speaks for that between his aura as well as his life tap ability. The thing that I found most intriguing, actually, and maybe I shouldn't be so surprised, but he actually then maxed out his nuke first, the Q ability, the more Ceratissima, I believe. I just call it nuke because it's a lot more simpler. Anyways, he maxed that out as far as his primary farming tool instead of, say, something like the life tap or whatever. But, I guess that makes sense, especially if you're going against his neutrals there. One in each of the others gets you enough from those abilities. And then you get the max nuke for maximum damage, of course. So,
and he farms really, really quickly as well. Like, I remember we were saying when the first time we saw, I was like, is he going to have an impact in the early game? Because I don't think he's going to be able to sort of keep up with Tempest in the jungle. But in the end, I think he was out farming Tempest. And so for Ophelia, who isn't the fastest jungler, Lord South Forest could easily out farm Ophelia in this game without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he has a lot of potential. So how about this? I mean, definitely seeing some some diversity here once again throughout Cycle 5 now here in Haunter Season 3. And again, like we brought this up yesterday, to still see things like this being brought upon us with no balance patch really happening since before the season, I really think that goes to show you that the teams are becoming less afraid and more willing to try these different things, and clearly they've worked at points. So I'm loving to see it. Hell, even the Draconis to an extent being played by Haxron here is something that's, you know, not by any means an everyday carry at all nowadays. So he's really the only one, again, that plays it right now, it seems like. So as far as lane setups go, are we going to see a swap, it looks like? Yeah, Keeper initially was at the top side, but he is going to be heading bottom, it looks like. I guess they were waiting to see what Nullstone was perhaps doing as far as their lanes. But yeah, Suicide Keeper makes a lot of sense, of course. Going to have Kraken mid and Draconis at the top. And Ophelia getting delivered the items there. So Empath going to be with Kraken, I assume. It looks like here. What do you think about that? You think it makes sense for Empath to be with the Kraken, or more so the Draconis top?
Well, Draconis can easily farm and sort of solo 1v1, particularly obviously it's range versus melee. Drunken is a good 1v1 hero, but in terms of, like, if you're going to run like a carry in the short lane who can solo, you might as well use the support to sort of have impact in the other lanes, because, I mean, Draconis will probably get as much farm as he would if Empath was here or not. And so in that case, I think it's best to sort of, you know, rotate in the mid lane. And at the same time, he's actually shutting down Magnus, which is probably the key hero to shut down, because he's going to be the initiator for Nullstone Gamers to try and reduce the sort of snowball potential of Nullstone Gamers. So I definitely think this is the right choice here, coming from BMG.
Dr. Pulsar, of course, going up against Keeper of the Forest here. Now he does have Rhapsody nearby. It's kind of a babysit, but still expect Zibbe here on Keeper of the Forest to overall have a pretty good time, as a Suicide Keeper usually tends to, but wouldn't be surprised to see that earlier dust, of course, coming out from Trents perhaps to try to make Zibbe pay for getting so aggressive in that Suicide lane. Then the top lane, yeah, again, as you would expect, Draconis having a good time up here. He's going to get his ring of the Teacher, most likely. There you go. As he cleans up the first couple of creep waves, or the first creep wave even. Looking at a 4-0 creep farm now. The Lord Self-Forest, again, going to keep an eye on him. This is now, I will say, yeah, he did the Hellborn jungle last time, so, and that is a little bit different when it comes to stacking the camps. You know, we saw him yesterday kind of clearing out the trees, and he was able to kind of get this 3 camps right here. Where in the Legion jungle, you can't do that as effectively.
Yeah.
You're just using these 2 camps instead.
I mean, yeah, because, I mean, in Hellborn jungle, I think normally Hellborn jungle is always preferable, because obviously you have that tri-core in terms of the jungling, but I mean, and it is having a little bit of an impact, though, because he's only 150 GPM. I think by this time he's around like 200, 250. I mean, not too bad, because he's going to take out this double stack here. It's going to be actually a triple stack. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure what you got knows how to jungle Lord Self-Forest in both Legion and Hellborn. So, yeah. Shouldn't be the biggest of issues, really.
I mean, how many junglers can legitimately triple stack a hard camp like this and actually do it? I mean, there's not really many out there, honestly, from the beginning. Balfagor, okay.
We never saw that. I mean, I remember when, like, back in the day where SG were, like, trying around some funky stuff, and I remember they kept on talking about Balfagor jungle, but we never actually got to see it, I think.
Yeah.
Sad times, man.
It's on the Suicide Balfagor. That was the first cycle there by Sync. They ran that. But yeah, no, the jungle Balfagor has been one of those kind of stats that's been talked about. We've heard of rumors about it, but I've really yet to see it at least done very well. He actually, I find that kind of interesting too. He triple stacks the camp over there, and then he actually heads towards the other. So yeah, possibly wants to get level 3 for the nuke.
The Dark Lord's presence is quite cool actually about the jungling as well, because obviously it's true damage, so it actually goes through the magic immunity. So you see him killing the wild hunters actually through it. So it's quite interesting.
And his life tap is superior magic, right? Yeah, superior magic damage. Yep. So yeah, that itself also goes through. So yeah, he has potential to be a good jungler, and again, well, you got showing that. It is.
And also, I think Lord Self-Forest is definitely going to scale a lot later than Ophelia. I mean, the hero isn't great late game, but it's a lot better than Ophelia as well. So, not something to be mentioned, but obviously Ophelia's going to have a lot more impact in the early game. She's actually got the Vulture Lord at the moment, so maybe until she gets maybe a Skeleton King or a Minotaur, expect a rotation mid perhaps, with like a Wolf from Empath.
Yeah, well, speaking of the wall from Empath, almost got Rhapsody right there at the angle, but she was just able to get on the other side of it. And so no follow-up to be had. So here we are, still 0-0. As I say that top lane, Draconis and Drunken going at it. But really just some back-and-forth harassment. No kills happening. But yeah, while we're on the Lord Self-Forest topic, though, once again, to reiterate, too, yesterday when we saw it, He also went a very utility heavy. Now, I was talking about that yesterday. How you usually maybe expect this guy to go more of a tank. That's actually back to the middle lane. Perhaps Bloodlust Cook going to be coming out right here. And Path he has his link up, though. No, he's going to stay alive. He will be fine. Kraken, he didn't charge or torrent right there. Choosing to save his mana, and hey, for good reason. In the end, nobody died, and probably wouldn't have got a counter kill anyway, so being patient. But yeah, he went very heavy utility. You know, you maybe would expect more of a very tanky build. But he got, I think it was like an early tablet into even a sheep stick. I assume he's probably going to do the same thing here.
Yeah, I don't see why not. They've got sort of carry potential, obviously, with the Doctor Repulsor and Drunken. I mean, you could perhaps maybe say he might go a little bit more tanky in this game because obviously he is kind of the only sort of durable sort of hero in this game. Drunken Master, obviously, as well as Magnus, both strength heroes, but not too tanky in that respect. But even if he doesn't, he's quite a tanky sort of hero in itself because obviously the life tap and things like that sort of regen his health. And at the same time, there's not a lot of burst potential from BMG, so he doesn't need to build that kind of tanky presence. And obviously, sort of tablet's good against Kraken as well. So yeah, I'd probably expect to sort of see a similar item pickup as well, like the tablet and sort of sheepstick, for example.
Yeah. And kind of another thing, actually, I know we're talking a lot about Self-Force, but hey, it's a new hero. Don't see too often. We just happened to see him yesterday, too. But he's also a very good counter pusher. His Q actually allows him to counter push very effectively. It's at a 4-second cooldown at level 4, and it does 360 magic damage, at least off the bat. So, yeah, he's pretty good when it comes to that. And, of course, you are dealing with the Keeper of the Force and Ophelia over here on the opposition. So, perhaps even more reason of why they decided to go with the Lord Self-Force as their potential final pick, and of course as we see here. So he's still sitting on this triple stack camp to the left that he stacked that very early on. So I was making a point that he's able to do that early on, but obviously he's not. He's just more so getting it ready for eventual. But yeah, he probably at least wants to even max out his Q before doing that.
It's a decent counter against Ophelia as well, obviously, because the ultimate stops the Ophelia's touch. So decent ganker.
There's many reasons why this hero actually kind of makes sense here as we're figuring it out more and more.
In before he gets nerfed by Waza.
I know, right? Gonna see that. It's like about time people start picking him up. All right, time to nerf. That's how the balancing
the nerf
works.
hammer.
Yeah, right. Lord Self-Force, okay, he got the regen, by the way. That's a very good rune to get as a jungler, especially one that's so mana intensive and he's like half life. As I say that, he's being chased by Kraken, but I mean, yeah, he's level 5. He's same level. He's full life, full mana. I don't think he really needs to be that worried here as far as getting killed necessarily. In fact, they could counter kill. In fact, they could go for Keeper, it looks like. This could be interesting.
They need dust. They need dust.
Yeah, they definitely need dust. That's a good point. Yeah, they don't have enough burst, so yeah, not even worth it. Try back to the middle lane, maybe? Something more so going on. Still don't blow those skill off. We're going to see it here. Rhapsody gets charged in. She didn't hit the clip, but it doesn't matter. Support gets credit for the Bloodlust. Will it come at a cost of Magnus? He needs a couple more auto attacks. One more. Steam Map. Oh, good attempt right there from Cholo Samion, but not enough in the end. Kraken chasing him back, and actually, Magnus go back in. He stuns for the kill. The math is not real. I guarantee you they thought he didn't have enough mana for a stun. That's why he went back in, and then the mana battery came in and turned it around. Well played there.
Yeah, definitely well played. Just underestimating the mana battery, obviously. So good play from him in the end. But yeah, just going back to the top lane, we haven't really talked too much about it though. 233 GPM on Drunken Master, and although he's a great hero, sort of great laning presence of a hero, but Draconis is just so strong. Obviously, he has great harassment with the Dragon Flame, and obviously the fiery barrage as well. And I think he was pulled a little bit of regen from Ophelia as well, so easily winning this lane. And yeah, I mean, absolutely had to completely dominate this lane. Actually, I didn't expect it to be this big of a difference, honestly. But
yeah, Draconis, again, a big part of that. Haxor's been having a very good time up here. Yeah, 0-0-0. But still farming 360 gold per minute. That's when you know that he's very heavily farming the creep waves there. Very effective, I should say. And hey, a tower kill on top of that. Why not bump him over 400 gold per minute now at this point? So again, we're seeing the Draconis kind of kicking in. He is going to go the Sustainer here. Now, we saw yesterday against Strickenslav. He actually went for the Energizer first. And I think that had a lot to do with because how the game was starting there. But as we saw jumping in late, but the previous game, he did go the typical build. He's doing that here. Looks like collapse in the middle lane. Rhapsody didn't stand a chance. That Skeleton King net hit, and as soon as it did, she was basically dead from the beginning. So good execution, and how about this? This is what happens, Ophelia Keeper. The movement is real, the power pushing is real, and there's not a whole lot No Stone can do about it.
Yeah, they have really bad counter push as well, actually, so there's not much they can do. They're just trying to counter push, split push bottom, but it's just so far slow. It's far too slow, but BMG actually going to keep on going with this push, and I guess why not? They have the heroes to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, this, you know, it's not a, that's a good point. You know, we're talking about how Lord South Force's Q is actually pretty good for counter pushing, but other than him, I mean, I guess Disco Inferno is solid. It's not your best by any means, but you know, they're showing here that they are able to hold it off somewhat, and they are gonna at least save the secondary tower for now. But again, it is somewhat of a risk at the same time to put up a powerful defense. Now they will trade, and that's obviously good for Nullstone for where things are at. But yeah, BMG understandably going to kind of hang in here. And it looks like they want to at least get this tower killed. Ideally kill it, but even if it's denied, still a dead tower. It's good news for them. So is there going to be a fight that takes place is the question. Lord South Force, nuking the creep wave. Three ducks in the background. There we go. Release Kraken coming out. Magma stuns out though. Lord South Force gets caught. He puts the Undying on Kraken, I believe. He will end up falling. Cuban Root comes out on top of that. And you see Trucker Master trying to get in there, but he couldn't get there in time. So yeah, Lord South Force falls. The tower does go down in the end and in favor of BMG.
I just don't understand why Nullstone Gaming were even trying to sort of defend. Like, Dr. Repulsor was taking the bottom in tier 1. Like, why are they even there? They should be trying to farm like the top towers and even maybe the jungle as well. Like, it cost all of BMG, all 5 of them, to sort of push that tier 2 tower. At least try and trade, get some other farm, because you're not going to take that team fight. So why are you there in the first place? Then they get picked off. So not only were they not farming, you know, BMG get a nice little reward as well, not only from the tier 2 tower, but Lord South Forest on top of that as well. So yeah, just a little bit questionable play coming from Nullstone Gaming, honestly.
Yeah, middle lane, they're trying to make a gank happen on the Kraken, but not going to happen. It's not comfortable going in right there. He doesn't have his ultimate, but of course he has a charge. He has the regen room bottled up, so yeah, not worth it for them. And yeah, so that Draconis is one of these heroes, though. Again, he's got a clock in a sense as far as how long Nullstone has. Now, yeah, I was watching this whole time. Very good job right there by Nullstone, as I was talking about Draconis. Magnus actually leading the way with that eruption, and great follow-up between South Force and Dr. Repulsor. So the Undying Use gets the kill, and now they're going to push this middle tower. Yeah, that's something to know, too, about Lord South Force. I mean, his ultimate has changed around a little bit. It used to actually give him a bonus effect if the target died. Now you only get that if you have the Staff of the Master. It's where that kicks in. So it's just, but they changed it around to make it more sense. I believe the cooldown was reduced by a lot. It's only 6 seconds to level 1 down to 30. But anyways, as I'm rambling on more, Lord South Force gets caught now as they're trying to push the middle lane. He will nuke, but it won't last for long. And he ends up falling right there. So good counter push coming out from BMG. And they are going to be able to deny the tower, actually, on top of it. But yeah, Draconis, again, one of those heroes that kind of has a clock. And you got to keep an eye on that clock.
And I mean, like, it's not like that. It's not like Nullstone Gaming really have a hero to sort of go toe to toe with Draconis. Like Drunken Master and Dr. Repulsor aren't going to be able to sort of outcarry this Draconis. So, like you said, man, there's definitely a clock on him, and they do need to start maybe trying to pressure him. They've got maybe the tools to do that as well. Obviously, the Dr. Repulsor, and they can sort of rotate even Lord South Forest or even Drunken Master as well if they want to maybe try and get some ganks on him. He doesn't have the Nullstone yet, and that would be the perfect time to gank him. So.
That's the idea, but for now you see the mini-map, not a whole lot of that being achieved, and in fact it's just being heavily pushed again by BMG. Again, that's their lineup, that's what it does. In fact, now a portal key picked up on Kraken, so now they have some very, very strong initiating presence coming out in their favor. The bottom secondary, Nullstone, now that they are here defending, but again, Draconis actually isn't here, so maybe it makes a little more sense than before as for them to try to defend this. As I say that, though, Draconis is kind of making his way over. They don't have Magnus either, however, on the Legion side. Granted, he does have a TP, so I think Nullstone is going to definitely try to defend. And should they, you think, especially with Draconis not being there?
There's no... Well, I think they could easily defend, but if they can't rotate all the heroes there, though, because I don't think... oh, no, they don't have TPG. They can easily defend this without Draconis. Yeah. But they need the initiation, and you know, BMG might just run back if they do rotate over, and Draconis is actually coming in anyway, so... in this case, they should not even try and defend. Like, there's 3 heroes here that don't need to be here. Like, Drunken should be off farming the top lane. He's not doing anything in terms of counter pushing. Lord South Forest and Raps are maybe the only 2 heroes that should be here, but if they are going to try and defend, then I guess all 5 do need to be here. But I still disagree with this choice.
I'm surprised Kraken didn't jump in when he had a chance there when there was only 3, but now there's 5. And they all 5 get rooted. Release Kraken in the background. The Undying is applied from Lord South Forest. Out comes the protective melody, but the Cataclysmic Assault has been pounding in auto attacks. Not the most threatening right now, but still is a lot. However, the dive is real from BMG apparently, and Ophelia's going to fall in the end as well. They get the tower kill, but it comes at quite the cost right there. In fact, it's going to be a third kill now to Keeper of the Forest. Yes, he will go down. So a 3-for-1 exchange, it looks like. They did lose Rhapsody in the process, but yeah, I was going to say BMG, I thought they had more of a chance right. I mean, again, they didn't know, they didn't have the God Nation, but they went a little too late.
The initiation wasn't great. Like the keeper route was perfect, but like Kraken like ultied on Dr. Repulsor, but he didn't charge and then ulti. He just put ulti down, and Dr. Repulsor just sort of flew out. He was fine, and so they needed to burst down maybe 2 or 3, and then obviously the Rhapsody protected melee came out, which was absolutely massive. Saved him for like another 3 or 4 seconds. And like I said before, after keeper route is used and Kraken ultimate is used, they don't do too much damage. And so, like, after they blew all their ultimates, you know, Draconis is farmed and all, but he's not farmed enough to really 1v5 the whole team. So, in the end, a decent, actually, team fight came out from Nullstone Gaming.
Yeah. Drunken Master Pops is untouchable. Super KG doing a pretty good job of actually baiting that out. I don't think his intentions were ever to cast the torrent right there. That's what he wanted, and that's what he got. So, you know, not a big deal, but did a good job of forcing Fuzzy Sloth out of the lane, playing that Drunken Master. We'll have to go back and get some regen. And yeah, speaking of that, again, Dr. Repulsor, he's got the glowstone working on the icon here. You have Drunken Master at 1,500 more gold saved up, so I'm pretty sure going to be well on his way to a Soul's Bulwark. And then Magnus Portal Key, he's got some 3 items that are going to be big here. He's not going Soul's Bulwark, actually. He goes the Mighty Blade. So looking to pick up the Shrunken Head instead. And I mean, yeah, it makes sense, again, especially with the Keeper. But at the same time, Soul's Bulwark would be pretty powerful against having this Draconis on the opposition. So I can see kind of a give and take there.
I think he needs Shrunken though. It's just a little bit more important, like to get out of Keeper route, for example. And obviously, I mean, Draconis does do a lot of damage, but at this time in the moment, or this time in the game, it's actually a lot more magical damage than it is physical damage. To be fair, because of the Dragon Flame and the Blazing Flame, like, all of it is like fiery magic. So
he is
so much fire.
He really is a funky hero in that sense. He's all about the magic damage early on, but by late game, I mean, he's 100% physical like presence early. Like, obviously, he's still doing a little bit of magic, but yeah, it kind of transitions there. So I guess in a sense, a lot of heroes do work that way in the end, but kind of interesting from that perspective. But yeah, top tower does go down. However, in the meantime, double damage Draconis, and they're doing Conqueror. Yeah, this is going to be a free Conqueror kill. Nullstone not even attempting to move in that direction.
I don't think they even know about it, let alone. I mean, they couldn't fight even if they did know, so they should try and trade. And they probably won't even get the tier 2 tower top, but they should at least try and do as much damage as possible to it.
Right, Magnus is there now. He's so close to that portal key, but not going to get there. Speaking of Magnus again, though, we're seeing some interesting Magnus builds, honestly. Not going the Volcanic Touch here. Just maxing out the Steam Bath instead, not even 1 level in the Volcanic Touch. So, again, hurting his farm potential a little bit here, as far as that's concerned, but wants the maxed out Steam Bath.
Yeah, I mean, when people max out the Steam Bath, like, I'm honestly not too much of a fan, because to me, like, you only pick up the Steam Bath to sort of disjoint a couple of abilities and maybe for the invis, but yeah, when you max it, it's all about the damage. But like, you're only doing 80 damage a second, and although it sounds a lot, like, he doesn't auto take that does like a 90 damage, like, and this is only level 10 as well. So to me, I don't think it's that creative of like a maxing out skill, to be fair. But
I mean, yeah, it does reduce the cooldown by all the way down to 10 seconds at level 4. So I've never really honestly looked into what a maxing out a Steam Bath does. So, but yeah, it is kind of interesting, you know, maxing that out. But like, it does hurt. Is he in fact going stats as well? Because he is level 10 now, so he should actually have 1 point of Volcanic Touch. But.
Yeah, like, Volcanic Touch is so strong, like, in terms of sort of counter pushing and sort of split pushing, which they are kind of having to do, because, you know, the team fight potential here from BMG is too strong. Excuse me, I've got this terrible cough, I apologise, but yeah, so like, they can't team fight, so he has to sort of split push, and Volcanic Touch is a perfect like sort of skill to really split push effectively, so I'm really kind of surprised he hasn't really picked it up. But
yeah.
Personal preference, I guess.
Well, Draconis, middle lane, he's a little careful here. He's got an empath nearby, but that's it, actually. So, taking a little bit of a risk kind of pushing in that middle lane, but doesn't really backfire. Going to be fine. Ophelia and Keeper actually only managing to be 3-3 overall together throughout Season 3. Kraken and Keeper actually 8-4. Interesting there. Yeah, I think Season 2, you know, the Keeper-Ophelia combo was a lot more feared, definitely. But still, at the same time, it's dangerous. And actually, speaking of that, speaking of Keeper Kraken, actually, Dr. Repulsor. Now, they didn't stagger right there the best, and I think that's ultimately the reason why they didn't get the kill. It still might have been close, but you could have argued maybe should have waited to root or vice versa with the release of Kraken. However, Dr. Repulsor does make the escape in. Back to farm he goes. He's got the full icon finish. What is Rhapsody doing? Jeez. All the way up here. Looking to place a war to side. Yeah, he's on a mission, man. Get that ward down.
Oh, Magnus is coming as well. They might be able to take this affiliate down, actually.
Very possible.
Oh, the body blocks.
Is that going to give him tank effect? Okay, there we go. There's the eruption. It's going to be enough, though. I don't know if it is. Yep, there's a heal, and now all of a sudden the turn potential kicking in. Rhapsody going to be locked down. She will fall. Lord South Forest got there too late. Yep.
If a Lord South Forest ulti was on them, but no, the Astral Haven, the affiliates touched too much, man.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if they really should have gone. If you had a level 2 eruption, maybe, but yeah, that was they really underestimated the potential of Ophelia right there, I think.
I think it was worth a go though, because like obviously they're fighting against Token. I don't think they can take a team fight outside of their base, so anything to try and delay the push, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, like you said, just so tanky.
Bonus is well on the way to a shrunken head. I believe he has the Warhammer at least. Well, never mind. He has the full freaking thing. This is what this hero does once again. 517 gold per minute. 20 minutes in, he already has a Nullstone Shrunken Head. Jesus. And again, the thing to note, Nullstone obviously cheaper than it was before when Draconis was around. Sure, the stats in a sense got nerfed, but the overall impact of the item is definitely still there with the nullifying effect and the mana regen, which is what he really liked it for anyway. So that's almost like a buff to Draconis, so amongst a couple of heroes, definitely. As far as that's concerned.
It's like an indirect buff in that respect.
Yeah, how dare they. Plated Greaves just picked up by Zibe, and he actually has an Arcana as well. So a Restoration Stone already in the works for him. He's farming pretty well, isn't he? Yeah, 337 gold per minute. He's actually 4th on his team with that farm, too. That's crazy in itself. Barrier Idol almost finished for Ophelia. Kraken, he's working on a Sheepstick most likely with that Blessed Orb. A lot of nice items coming out. Lords of Forest does go the Ring of Sorcery into Tablet, by the way, so basically the same thing as he did yesterday. Discussing that. They're not going to try to defend here, are they? Oh, Kraken. Oh, Magnus living left for the edge. I don't know about that. Yep, he's going to get caught here. Will it backfire ultimately? It absolutely will. That was just silly.
No buyback either. This could even be Rax, honestly. They need the Magnus initiation because they don't have any initiation outside of Dr. Repulsor, and that does not count as initiation. So, yeah, this is very, very bad.
Not good. Not good for Nullstone Gaming. BMG capitalizing big time right here. Not a whole lot Nullstone can do as far as absolutely defending. 15 more seconds about. There's a room coming out. However, Dr. Pulse is going to be locked down. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. He eventually gets bursted down. He does have a buyback. He's going to use it right away. Magnus still not up, though. The release of Kraken logging them down in the background. Rhapsody, a full predictability. It will help save Drunken Master. Not for long, though. He does go down in the process. Lord South Forest also trying to do what he can, but you see Draconis even going in there trying to snipe out Rhapsody.
DD.
Unsuccessful. He has a DD. Oh, yeah, that helps as well. Is that being passed by Rhapsody or Empath, excuse me? I believe it is. So it's not a powerful DD, but it still is something. As Magnus jumped in, by the way, with the eruption. So finally he comes in. And now Kraken and Empath are dead. They're going to get more action. Draconis in trouble. Draconis going to end up falling. This could be a genocide if they play this correctly. Ophelia's in trouble. Ophelia's going to go down. Can they get Keeper? It looks like they probably are going to be able to. Keeper goes down, and there you go. A genocide for Nullstone. They saved the melee racks. This game is still not over. Absolutely not.
No, but yeah, I think the biggest thing is they actually saved the melee racks altogether. And yeah, it did cost a buyback from Lord South Forest and Doctor, but they were fighting against tokens. So yeah, there's definitely ways to back into this game. And I mean, with a level 16 Doctor now, and he's 500 GPM, he definitely needs that stronger head though. Like, he doesn't have a strong. If he has a stronger head in the first team fight, he doesn't die, and therefore doesn't even have to use a buyback. But still not the biggest of deals. Like, you're starting to see BMG, like, after the elements are used, like Kraken and Keeper. You know, Draconis is big and all, but still is not at the sort of stage of the game yet that he can 1v5 the whole team. So Nullstone Gaming are still in this, without a doubt.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering now about this, I know, maybe a hindsight thing. I mean, sure, now Icon has 10 charges on it for Doctor, so that's obviously pretty good for him. He's going to be going to Shrunken Head next, too, but, you know, I think you could argue that maybe the going the Hellflower instead first might have been a better option here to try to attempt to lock down the Draconis specifically, perhaps, you know, before it's Shrunken, I guess, but...
Keeper, he needs to get up. He needs a way of getting out of Keeper route, to be fair.
That's true, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's not a bad idea, but at the same time, he's going to be going against Nullstone Draconis as well, so... Like, has ways of dealing with the Hellflower. Obviously, he'll probably use opposite charges first, but still, like, I don't know. He can easily go Hellflower probably next, or even Sheepstick next, which would probably be better because it would stop obviously Draconis hitting with the Sheepstick. But I think the Drunken is a little bit more important at this stage of the game.
Bottom lane, keeping the Force in a lot of trouble, and now he's tanky, man. He's gonna use a root right there. Shrunken popped by Drunken Master in the process. He's staggering through. Keeper does not have a TP up, so he's doing his best to juke and jive here. If he actually had a TP up, then he could have definitely gotten away right there, I'm pretty sure. But it wasn't off cooldown, so Zibby eventually falls. Good gank coming out. Dust from Magnus, I believe it was, to make sure that kill happened. And even saw Lord Force getting in there at the last second. I believe Lord Force just bought something. Okay, it's makings of a Shaman's headdress here. So he's actually kind of transitioning now. And again, yesterday we saw more of the Sheepstick. He's actually going to be building a barrier item instead this game for his team. And you were talking about that earlier. This game is a little bit different than it was yesterday for sure. And a barrier idol's pretty good against this Hellborn side. So I guess...
yeah, like I said, like Draconis still does so much damage in terms of magical damage. Like he only hits for like 140, which isn't too much, seeing it's like nearly 30 minutes into the game. It's still a lot of yet obviously, but like the Dragon Flame and the Blazing Flight is still so much damage. So that the barrier idol will be a lot of usefulness for Nullstone Gaming. And I mean, to be fair, like, if you think about it late game, like the only people who are going to be useful is going to be probably Kraken and Draconis in terms of damage. And for Nullstone Gaming, they've got Drunken Master and Doctor Repulsion. And talking of Drunken Master, does find support in the end. So, and look, they're 4,000 experience ahead actually of BMG. Yeah, they are behind in terms of gold, but that's because there's still 3 tier 2s outside of for Nullstone to take. So there's still a lot of gold to be gained here for Nullstone Gaming.
Yeah, that's one of those kind of like blessings in disguise, as I like to say. I mean, yeah, sure, there's still 3 towers up, but hey, there's 3 towers up. I mean, that's all that gold to be made up, as you're pointing out right there. Being down 6,000 gold, get those 3 tower kills, and all of a sudden that gap's actually pretty close. I mean, hell, it's not even like it's taken off either at this point. So, yeah, I mean, winning that top fight, no doubt getting a genocide, pushing them out, saving the melee racks, that was absolutely big for Nullstone Gaming right there. And that's kept them in the game and given them actually, a good fight here. Good fighting chance even. Moving on. So, 4,900 gold on Haxrin as I'm talking about that, though. So he is going to have that, probably going to be, again, the Savage Mace here to assist on top of the Shrunken and Nullstone, and that's the Holy Trinity of items. That's kind of that clock that we referred to as far as that you have until he gets really scary. So they're going to have to start dealing with that, and I'm sure as soon as he gets that in the very near future, probably maybe look to see them try for a Congo kill, but go from there into pushing in the base. Would make sense here. Kraken got a Sheepstick, by the way. She just picked that up. Good pickup here for Bad Monkey Gaming as well. Any other special on the Legion side? Magnus 3,300 gold saved up, so he possibly is going for one of his own. Actually, they catch right here. Okay, it's just support. It's like you go over here like, oh, is this a big cat? It's just support.
Oh, it's just support.
Not a big deal.
Still useful though, see for Doctor. They might even push, perhaps? No, I don't think they're going to push. Man, Zibbe's been sitting in this bottom lane for ages, just farming the enemy jungle, been an absolute nuisance. Like, I don't know why they don't give Doctor some dust and just take Keeper out, because I'm pretty sure they know Keeper's in this vicinity, but they just can't find him because of the invis. But
it's just like they don't want to waste so much time though, and it's like, screw it, let's just try to elsewhere perhaps. But yeah, Zibbe is doing a great job of taking advantage of this hero.
Oh,
No doubt.
Kraken.
What is that about right there? Ophelia's having a pretty good time, 308 gold per minute, which is, well, both 310. She's 16-0, so yeah, BMG definitely setting themselves up among several reasons, not being one of them. Being a pretty good spot, but a good bottom tower push coming out from Nullstone Gaming right there.
1 out of 3.
Yeah, there you go. There's the gold gap getting a little bit less, and again, they have the experience lead. They've had it now for a little bit at 4,800, so it's definitely still a very, very good fighting chance here for Nullstone. And Doctor, did he buy something? Oh, well, no, he had the Shrunken on the icon. Is that an Arc? Okay, one Arcanus coming out. Who got a Shrunken? Magnus? Magnus goes to Shrunken. Interesting. Again, I don't know if it's always one of those funky items on a Magnus, I feel.
It's decent in this matchup though. There's so much damage coming from BMG, and sometimes I think we've mentioned it before. I think Insania was on the cast when we talked about it. It was actually like some Magnus players like to sort of stun in and then use Eruption, but obviously you can't do that if you don't have the shrunken head. And then some players just like to use Eruption straight away, and that's where normally we see like Tablet and sort of Storm Spirit, for example. And I think in this game, I think Shrunken Head can be useful.
Big. Keeper's actually not here right now. Legion team going in. Conqueror is still alive, has a fair amount of life left on him, so Keeper is running here. As I say that, he roots to the back of Quick and from Dr. Repulsive. Here we go with the Cataclysmic Assault. They need to do something about that. Lords of Force be locked down. Lords of Force is going to fall. Sheep's got a Magnus in the meantime. Magnus goes down. He couldn't even... Oh, he stuns in, actually. He's still alive some way, somehow. Portal given 5 seconds. Never mind, he does go down. Hat trick for Haxter, and again, you press R, Empath jumps inside you, and you just do a crap ton of damage with that Shrunken Head up. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Doctor's actually still in the run even. He might get caught right here. He just used the last bit of his mana, keeping the force on top of him. He doesn't have a root, but it doesn't matter. Kraken comes in, cleans him up. Bad Monkey Gaming winning an absolutely big fight there.
My God, man, we always talk about how Draconis is so useful, but literally, I kid you not, he killed Lord Salforus and Rhapsody in about a couple of hits. He wasn't even targeting him. Like, I think they rooted onto also all 5, which is a great initiation from some Zibe. And then Super KG put the Kraken ultimate on Lord Salforus and Rhapsody. And then Draconis starts hitting Drunken Master and Dr. Repulsor. And then he kills Rhapsody and Lord Salforus in the back. Like, oh, such big work, man. It's like, jeez, it's just ridiculous. Like, he wasn't even targeting him, and yet he killed 2 out of the 5 heroes, like, in a matter of seconds.
And again, remember, he got that buff where now it even attacks an additional target when he presses R. So it's even more powerful than it used to be. So Empath inside, yeah. You talk about Zibe also landing those roots. I mean, we saw the 5-man root earlier. Sure, it wasn't the prettiest result, but that root right there, no doubt. You get 3-4 heroes. I mean, it just keeps them in place for Draconis to just do that. Again, when he pops the Shrunken Head, it's like, what do you do? Especially when he has a no on him, you just can't really do much. GG, well played. There you go. Game number 2 it is. BMG up 1-0.
They just steroided Haxter in there, so they had like the Keeper of the Forest and Kraken just to sort of keep them in place. Then obviously Empath to boost Draconis, and then Draconis just clicked A on the ground and killed everything, man. Like, jeez, obviously it wasn't as simple as that, but great play count from BMG. But man, they need to address this Draconis, man.
And we're making it seem like Haxter is just a dirt player and he's just pressing R and winning games, but obviously again.